Today is Monday, July 24th, and tomorrow I am having a unilateral mastectomy to remove my left breast because I have breast cancer. Hey there, if you don't know me, my name is Jackie. I make videos on this channel about living a healthier, more full life through community building, movement, nutrition, and in May of this year, I was diagnosed with an invasive ductal carcinoma, better known as breast cancer. So tomorrow, I am having a unilateral mastectomy, which means that I will officially be a unicorn, which is awesome. I'll have one breast left, and that'll be my right breast. And, you know, I've never had any sort of surgery. And so there is a ton of anxiety that I'm feeling going into this procedure tomorrow. And it's really hard for me to kind of pinpoint exactly where that anxiety is coming from. Is it coming from, you know, the unknown of never having been through something like this before? Is it coming from just knowing that I have cancer and that when I come out on the other side, I will be missing an entire part of my body? Is it coming from the fact that I have to step away from my business for the next couple of weeks as I attend to and heal from this surgery? Is it coming from all of these things? It's likely coming from everything. Being a human is really, really complicated. And since I started on this path and on this journey, I have been watching a lot of videos here on YouTube with other creators and listening and reading and watching other women's stories as they've gone through this journey. And, you know, I have a couple of friends who are currently going through this journey as well. The rub on it all for me is that most of the people who I know that are currently going through this journey are at least 10 years my senior. Some of them more closer to 20 years my senior. Now, that being said, I know that this disease also greatly affects women of all ages. And the one thing that has, you know, me and my doctors scratching their heads is that I am an otherwise healthy adult, right? I move my body for a living. I focus on preventative medicine, on nutrition. I do all the things, right, that we know to prevent cancer. I don't have cancer that runs in my family. This is just a total and complete cellular anomaly. Like, it's just cells in my body forgetting who they are for whatever reason and growing into and attaching to themselves in an unhealthy way. And this is the result. I've had a lot of people ask me about why I'm choosing to do a mastectomy, and that answer is honestly really complicated. I took a lot of time to sit with it, to do my best to sit with it and to do my best to really dissect why I'm making the choice that I'm making. The facts for me in my life are this. I'm 41 years old. The chance of reoccurrence at this point, you know, I have another 10 to 20 years of localized reoccurrence that could potentially happen. Not to say that cancer can't come later in life, but they know that for the majority of women, it comes around the onset of menopause. So I have another, 10 to 20 years of my life to really think about. And then also, I could have made the choice to have a lumpectomy, but if I chose the lumpectomy, then radiation was 120% going to happen. And when I spoke to my surgeon and my breast oncologist about that, I asked them, I don't have very big breasts to begin with. I could tell where they took out just the tissue samples from the biopsy. And I was like, if you're taking out this section for the lumpectomy with the clean margins, I'm afraid that's going to make my breast much, much smaller. And she shared with me that the surgery wouldn't likely make my breast smaller, but radiation absolutely could. And so then I kind of questioned myself, do I 121% want to have radiation with the chance of having very unbalanced breasts? Or do I want to just remove the problem child, the breast that has the cancer in it, and maybe be able to forego the radiation? Now, it's not 100% that I'll be able to, forego the radiation. It's going to depend on what the testing of the lymph nodes that they're removing look like. And then chemotherapy for the stage of cancer that I'm in isn't entirely off the table either. That is going to depend on the oncotype test that they do once the cancerous tissue is removed. So I've been having a lot of anxiety and a few panic attacks, if I'm being quite honest, the last couple of days. And I've done a lot of just, unpacking and considering and thinking about where it's all coming from. And in my heart, and I know and very confident that I am making the best decision for me and my family at this point in my life. However, that doesn't stop the constant loop of what ifs running through my brain. And it doesn't stop my teenage self from having the dialogue of, nah, I'm good, let's not do this. I was talking to my therapist about that today, and she gently reminded me that, my teenage self is probably just trying to protect me, and that I've taken a lot of time, consideration, and thought and research into making this decision. That doesn't stop me from having a ton of anxiety. I'm really grateful that yoga has been a part of my life and that meditation has been a part of my life for the better part of 20 years. I was introduced to them both at the tender age of 19, and I am so grateful that I was. I've really, really, really leaned into all of the tools that this path has taught me in the 20 plus years that it's been a part of my life. And I think that I will continue to lean into the tools as I work to recover from this momentous event of losing a part of my body. And I think that it's easy sometimes, in some ways, to minimize what is happening. But the reality is that when we lose a part of our body, 95% of the time, it's in an emergency situation that is requiring that to happen. And while this surgery, having cancer isn't not an emergency, I have choices, and this is the choice that I've made. And since I've made that choice, I've had lots of time to sit and say goodbye to my breast, to say goodbye to this a part of my body that has been a part of my body for the last 41 years. And tomorrow, I'm saying goodbye. We're parting ways. I'm firing my boob. Because it's no longer serving me. I probably won't sleep tonight. But I'm going to continue to take deep breaths. I'm going to go train jiu-jitsu one last time while I can for the next couple of months, because I'll be sitting out for the next month or so as I heal. So I'm going to go sit on the mats one more time and do what I can tonight. And then I'm going to prep in all the ways that I can, continue to prep for surgery tomorrow. When I see y'all next time, I'll be a little lighter. Literally. Until then, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification. Oh, it's down here probably. Subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you know when I post new content. Sending you all kinds of love and light. Till next time, stay healthy, happy, and